Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Abigail, the ultimate guru, and with me, as always, is my co-host, the world's only comedian, Bryden Proctor.
Hello.
Also joining us today is the one and only Broseph Smith. Hello.
Hello.
You don't have
are
to
you
worry
doing?
about a thing because we are here to help, and we are here to help all of you. We have extra help today.
Woohoo.
We
I'm
want
gonna hold on.
to.
I'm gonna start out the show
What?
by saying you were so close to your mic, Broseph, and then now you're so
He
far
is a
away
little far
from it.
away.
Now you're intimidated by the here to help audience. Like I'm adjusting your levels over here, and I'm like, okay, I think I got it. And then you're like, hello, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now I am talking normally.
There you go. Just
and
be where you're supposed to be. You know, act like a man in America. Be where you're supposed to be.
All right, I'll take my
crazy.
penis out and assault the first woman I see.
Wait, shit.
That
This
would
guy's
be the
Indian.
American thing to do.
Hello, Zad. You have let me into your country.
Okay, so actually, on
Right
the
out of the
subject of
gate.
Indians,
Right out of the gate. 1 minute in. Fuck. Well, I fucked it up too. Okay, we're good. It's fine.
It's okay. We're gonna survive it.
Sorry.
So I go to this gas station to get my jewel pods sometimes, but I don't usually go to this one because it's a little further away.
Speaking of
Okay.
fuck,
What?
because
Okay,
Abby is a
whatever.
gas station prostitute. That's the bet.
I'm
Okay.
not a gas. No, that was my mother. That's not me.
Hey, the
Family
bitch
tradition,
doesn't. The bitch doesn't fall far from the tree. Am I right?
Man,
Am I
one
right,
time
Broseph?
I went.
Oh, of
I was
course,
in like
these
this.
women.
I was in this super shitty gas station one time, like really bad, and I walked in and someone was like, "Hey, is your mom so and so or like your aunt or
no.
something?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's my mom." She's like, "Oh, you look just like her." It's like, ugh. Anyway,
You were
so
like,
maybe
well, I
maybe
guess-
she was a
Looks like your
gas
mom.
station whore.
Yeah.
It was
Broseph,
weird though.
you're gonna really have to get in here, man. I promise you.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, okay, all right.
But I was going to okay, so I go to the gas station, to the convenience store, and every time I go to this one, the same guy is there. I assume he owns the place and is the only worker or something, but he's got this super thick Indian accent. Like I'm talking to Apu here, okay? And he always says the same thing. He asks me if I do my hair
Hey.
myself, and then starts talking about how adorable it is and how I'm so cute. And he'll like put his hands under his chin, like, "Oh, you're so cute,"
Okay, I
it's
am
like
so
He's
fucking happy.
fantasizing about what he'd do to you in his home country. That's
Oh,
what
Is
he's
that what
doing.
it is? Because Bryden
Yes.
said I should be afraid
I-
of this
Yes.
cute little anecdote I told.
When she was saying the story of like, and he puts his hand under, I was like, oh my god. You didn't tell me
No,
this.
same. She goes. He put his hand under his chin. Oh, okay, good,
His?
because right, yeah, exactly, yeah, and the words skirt, vagina, nowhere in there. So
Nope.
I'm glad to hear. So
Well, luckily
at
enough,
least I'm glad about that. That's a survival story, is what that is.
Yeah. I survived. Now I'm scared to go back, but that's the only place that sells the 6-packs, which are a much better deal.
okay, it's fine. Go on with your story. That's all. They've got those whole memes of like, pictures that were taken before disaster. This will be
No, it's
podcast
not.
that was recorded before disaster, but anything for the views. It's fine.
Well, if you think about it, the 6-pack might be cheaper, but then the what do you call it? Sexual cost of going there is much higher.
It's true. It is high. I just
Prices
feel
and
like,
everything.
it's a public place. It's broad daylight.
That would
could be-
never happen.
Actually,
all the time.
no. Yeah.
Oh
in
my
India.
gosh.
Well, it is, to be fair, India. To be
It is India.
I am judging it off of the difference of he's fantasizing about what he would do if he was in India. He's not in India. He's in, civilization. So
7-Eleven is. What are you talking about? 7-Eleven is India.
Okay.
So,
well,
It's
damn,
a fucking embassy of India.
I just thought
God damn it, dude.
in my
All these
mind
arguments.
though, In my mind, though, I'm thinking, like, that's not how I would be approached in a dangerous situation, right? Or, like, if I went to
No.
India, those girls that go to India on a solo trip and they get, like, surrounded by the
Yes.
crowds,
Those
are they all
hilarious
just going,
videos.
"You're so cute, you look like a doll, I love your hair." Like, "Oh,
They
you're so
might.
cute." Is that what they're doing?
They might.
I
You
don't
don't
know.
know
I
what the
mean,
fuck
that's
that mud language is they're speaking. You don't know what they're. Oh, la,
That's
la, la.
fair.
You don't know what they're doing. That's probably what they're saying.
Let me
Yeah.
see your titties.
Yeah, I just seriously like in their culture. Please, ma'am, please to be opening Bob's and Jeans. Do not redeem is fucking cute. That's basically the equivalent of handing a gal a Valentine's card, and
Oh gosh, I'm in danger.
Well, to be fair, I will say, and now and we do carry many poisons on us, but with that we could probably use the self defense. But both my wife and I work for a pest control company, and we have serviced countless Indian houses, and
wait.
so
Okay.
So
far she
your
has
wife,
survived unscathed.
so your wife has serviced many Indian households.
Spraying the pesticides. Let me rephrase that. She has
He's
treated
training.
with insecticides several Indian houses that are infested with cockroaches.
She is
You're
treated.
infested with Indians is what I thought you were gonna say. I'm sorry. I can say this whole time
Unfortunately,
I'm just
we don't do that kind of pest control. That kind was made illegal around the 1940s.
Oh yeah, I forget about that sometimes.
All
Yeah,
right.
they're about 270,000 or so.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ.
Cockroaches died or
Oh my
so,
gosh.
Oh
and
no.
and then they became pesticide resistant.
It's
So
it's a comedy show. Comedy
oh
show.
dear Abby. I have
No,
a
but that's
dear
what really
Abby.
happened with bed bugs back in the day. They became resistant to DDT. Sorry, I said cockroaches. I meant bed bugs. But bed bugs became resistant to DDT back in the day,
Wait, Diamond
and
Dallas
they
Page has what to do with this?
very little. But the chemical compound something that is
Nice.
long term for DDT. I forget what
Fucking nailed it, dude.
God
So
damn it.
good.
What that bitch in Silver Spring made illegal. But now because DDT almost eradicated bed bugs back in the day. People don't know. And then
Hold on, let me
and
look this up. Because that's
yeah,
bedbugs are a fucking man. I live in Los Angeles
they
for a
are a
fact.
menace. But they almost eradicated it, but then they made it illegal. And so
So
um
it's no, this is I don't know. Abby and I are both going to give it our best shot. You can try to give it your best shot too. I'll go first. Uh, Dichloro diphentrichlorothane.
yeah, sure.
Dichloride phenytricyl chlorethane.
Oh, that's pretty. That's
Chlorethane?
probably close.
Yeah. Yeah, dichlorophenid. Yeah, I can't do it a second time. I did it once. The magic is gone.
What do you
No,
got,
that was
Brosen?
those are beautiful. I don't know. I've always just called it DDT.
But dude, DDT is Diamond Dallas Page's fucking finishing move. So I obviously am
Okay.
picturing him DDTing all of these bed bugs, and the idea that that would not work is truly insane because it would work. Obviously,
It
would
is
work.
insane, and that's why it did work for the longest time. And then that bitch who wrote Silver Spring or what? No, not Silent Spring. Silver Spring is a city in Maryland. I apologize. Silent Spring. That one about all the bald eagles dying or whatever.
I have
That
no
book.
idea what that is. I'm already thinking
Oh,
about Silent
Is
Hill.
that why DDT is illegal?
yes, that is
That
why
book?
DDT is illegal because this lady wrote this book, and then it was one of the first environmental pushes for things, and over time they realized it was kind of blown. The points she made were kind of blown out of
It's kind of like
proportion.
the paper
I
straw thing.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
yeah, and so but it was made illegal, and so and yeah, it's now heavily restricted, so you can't use it for like the same, just bed bug
So,
treatments and stuff like that,
so what
and
it's
so
so what it says here is in 1972, it was banned according to the National Pesticide Information Center, which
yes,
they got whole centers for fucking everything, which makes sense. A lot of chemicals, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it says even before the ban, some bed bugs had developed resistance to DDT, and this resistance has persisted and spread, probably because of lack of
Yes.
exposure to it. I mean, they might have just outlived it, dude. Because
They did some did outlive it, but then due to the fact that like then that we couldn't use DDT, and then like they restricted other pesticides, which some of them very good because you don't want to use those around humans, but then some other ones were still restricted. So like it allows the ones that I guess would have been killed by DDT to survive, and then also mate with other ones that are DDT resistant,
Right.
creating an even greater population of bed bugs that are more resistant to even more chemicals.
They are the
Then-
scariest fucking bugs. Sorry, Abby, I'll let you go
They're
after this
just-
real quick.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
They are the
Started talking about
scariest
bugs.
fucking bugs. When I lived in Los Angeles, the Koreatown specifically, it's like, oh, Koreatown has a bed bug infestation or whatever. I developed a disorder. I was so paranoid about them. One time I had the 3 bites of it.
Yeah.
Could have been anything, but it looked like, so bed bugs, they do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They do 3 little bites on you, and they are, you have to burn everything down. You can't. I guess I don't have that clothes anymore. Like, skin. I'll get new skin because it's covered in
Yeah.
bed bugs. It's
Go to the skin doctor.
you got to figure it out. I guess you got to look like that one
Yeah.
Iraq vet standing next to his wife getting
Yeah.
married. If you get fucking bed bugs, it's horrifying because they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, they can live for 7 years without food, and they can get to the size of a credit card, and they can live in your ass. It's horrible. I don't know how you get
Yep.
rid of them besides fire. And I've heard even fire, they might, do another sequel where they're like, bed bugs go to New York or what the fuck ever. Or
It's because they can become fire resistant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they become they evolve into their next Pokemon evolution.
There's got to be a
fire ticks.
solution to this, though. There's got to be like a solution to things like bed bugs and ticks and mosquitoes. And it
Yeah.
wouldn't hurt anything to get rid of those 3 things, as far as I'm aware. Like all of those 3 things, you take them out of the food chain completely, other things will be fine.
Spiders
They take
would
the place.
spiders
Those
be
are just
mad
parasites.
about the bed
Yeah.
bugs, I think.
They're trying to do that with mosquitoes, at least the ones that like carry viruses and stuff, by like, and they've tried this at various times, and it's succeeded with various rates, but they at least try to control the populations because it's not eradication. It's really hard, but with creating like mosquitoes that are like infertile, and then
See, that's
releasing them.
exactly what I'm talking about. Biological warfare against
Yep.
the pests that are not helpful to us. And
Okay,
that are
I just
killing
want to be
people.
like real quick, because of how this fucking show started, and we might need to restart it. I am legitimately
I'm so sorry.
talking about bed bugs and mosquitoes. This is not
No, yeah.
I'm so
any
sorry. I
type
totally hijacked this. I'm so
of
sorry.
fucking euphemism. For the love of God, I just I'm scared of bed bugs. I think that they're a scary infestation.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thanks, Broseph. I it was like, haha, what a funny joke to start the show with. By the way, I am, because we're both interested in like, I don't want to say extermination now. We're both interested in like,
dealing with bugs and like what would happen to in nature. Like,
Yeah.
So
No, and yeah, because like, I mean, so for example, with those mosquitoes, I mean, yeah, that's what we call biological control, is when they use actual other animals, whether genetically altered members of its own species, or some other,
like putting a mongoose in a wall to get a snake out.
yeah, exactly, or like they did in fucking Australia, where they released like a ton of
Aboriginals to get rid of the weeds. They love burning shit down. They're my favorite guys, honestly.
Dude,
they are pretty sweet. I follow this one guy on Twitter called Mungo Manic, and
That's his real name.
Yeah, that's his real name, government issued. Yeah, Aboriginal. No, but he just studies. I don't even know if he's Australian, but he just studies like the like Australian culture and stuff, and like Aboriginal culture and whatnot, like going way back. And he's theorized that the Aboriginals are actually like significantly, because they were genetically isolated for so long, they're like significantly genetically percentage
Okay,
wise.
okay. I know. We've all heard
But
this. Listen.
sorry, okay. I wasn't doing it that way, but just did a.
Let's get back to the
But like,
bugs.
yeah.
There's a lot
So
of
various
well, it's like
species.
pygmies. Like
Yeah, no,
pygmies.
exactly. Well, I mean, white Neanderthals. I have like a protruding brow ridge and occipital bun on the back of my head. If you trace my ancestry back, you go. It gets to them
Hold on.
Neanderthal buddies.
The fuck
It's the
is
same thing for every culture on the world, really. Like they're finding a bunch of ghost DNA
Oh
in
yeah, yeah,
various
yeah.
African tribes too. So there were apparently just like
It's everywhere.
dozens
Yeah.
of Neanderthal and Denisovian like hominids just roaming around at the same time as us, just like
Like
dozens
so
of
much
them.
more than they thought before.
Hey, real quick, Abby.
Yeah.
For those fucking bozos out there that don't know, what is ghost DNA?
Oh, okay. So basically, it's exactly the same as me having 2% Neanderthal DNA because I'm a Northern European, or Asians having Denisovian DNA. It just means that we don't have the species cataloged. We found DNA and we don't know who it belongs to. We have no name for it. We have no bones. Nothing. It's just DNA that we have no idea where it came from. So it's called ghost DNA because, yeah, we just haven't discovered the bones.
So
The
it's a-
bones would be so freaking old. It's a wonder we've discovered what we have with the two species we're super familiar with. There's another species down in South Africa that lived in caves. They're called Homo naledi, and they were doing like funeral rites down there in these caves, like climbing down to bury their dead. There's evidence of fires being built millions of years before our species started doing it. Like
But
that,
how
or
did-
unless the dating is wrong, which that's always a possibility.
Carbon. Well, I
Yeah.
think carbon dating's fucking bullshit, and the
You
Earth
go
is
the
only
further
like.
back you go, the spottier it is. It's just it gets less and less accurate.
Well, it just doesn't make any sense. And I mean, the world is literally only thousands of years old, and they're just making shit up. But man walked around
Well,
with
even if it's
dinosaurs.
relative, right? Even if it's relative, if we're looking at instead of saying millions, we say thousands, it's still significant. You know,
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah, for sure.
these creatures were doing stuff that we like humans weren't doing for so long. Yeah.
Well,
Speaking of Denisovans, did you hear about that? They found that Dragon Man skull. They figured out that one skull found in Harbin Cave, I believe, in China. That one, it was previously theorized to be some other, one of these other ghost hominids, but it's they determined through whatever I forget. I'm smoke too much weed. But they determined it to be Denisovan. So
Oh, the big one.
yeah, the big one. That
See,
yeah.
that's crazy
See?
to me because it's Asians that have the
Yep.
Denisovian DNA, right? Why is it a giant? That's not
Exactly.
that's bullshit. There's no way.
Yeah,
There's no way.
exactly.
There were
Asians would be taller.
There were stories of Asian giants. There were stories of Asian giants. I guarantee it. Also, I turned
Yeah,
my
Sasquatch.
Well,
camera
yeah,
on.
but
Abby's not going to, but I did it because I want our guest to be more comfortable because he's very tense. I can hear it in his voice, and he needs to see my fucking shitty hairline and my. I'll show you my fake teeth later. Chinese
Don't do it. Just
giant
pull 'em out.
stories. It'll be
Do
a
it.
hell of a time getting them back in. Let's see. Kwafu who chased the sun. Can't get much bigger than that, or dogs do that probably. But and the legendary Chang Wu Gao was an exceptionally
was
tall
pretty good.
man who toured the world in the 19th century. He just went around.
Well, you got Yao Ming too. I'm not saying Asians can't be tall. I'm just saying
And you
it's
got the
surprising
Yeti.
to me.
Are there any literal
the-
giant figures? Like giants. Like we got the Nephilim over here with the Christianity myth, and then we've got
Surely giants are like dragons. There were like most cultures have giant
you would
myths.
think, right?
Damn.
There'd be all of them, but maybe we're the only
Chinese.
fellows with giants. Chinese.
Maybe their myths
Giant
came
myths,
from
China.
the
Maybe Jesus
white
walked
people
over
come
there.
over.
Yeah. Maybe white people are Hotep.
I think there's
Yeah,
like a
exactly.
cult in Japan that thinks that he went over there, but there's a lot of
Oh,
cultures.
yeah.
Like Mormons think he came to America, obviously. Like,
Yep.
To what, Utah specifically, right? Or is it Idaho?
No, he so specifically Jesus came to, actually the Book of Mormon doesn't say specifically where geographically, because the places named in the Book of Mormon are like oh my god, it's been so long I
oh,
forgot the
you're
names.
Mormon, aren't you?
Yeah, I grew up
Holy
Mormon, yeah.
shit.
Sorry, of
Yeah.
course you are. Your name is Broseph Smith. I was just sitting here like, oh, he knows about Mormonism. That's cool.
I
That's
didn't-
convenient because I just mentioned them. Like, oh wait.
So
Yeah, no.
Do you mind if we, I mean, not grill, but that was the word that came to mind. Ask you questions about Mormonism, because already you
Do
gave
it.
us a bunch of bug stuff, and then that took a turn. So, I thought that was going to be the focus of the episode, but um, it's gonna be it's gonna be ones you've heard a million times, and then I want to get into more specifics. But the first one that I have for you is a newer
Well, hang on.
question.
1 second though. He was in the middle of saying
Oh
about
shit!
Jesus
Sorry.
coming. Let's
Yeah,
let him finish.
Jesus
Sorry,
went to
I
the-
didn't mean to interrupt so bad.
I forgot.
Oh, all I was gonna say was the names in the Book of Mormon are, like the land of Bountiful, which they named a town in Utah Bountiful, but that doesn't correlate to, the actual place in the Book of Mormon. That's just the settlers got the name from the Book of Mormon, but
Yeah.
the names in the Book of Mormon are, different. And so Mormon apologists have spent a lot of time and effort into trying to theorize where the actual geographic Book of Mormon took place. There's a theory it's in the Great Lakes region, up about around there, because of some of the some other stuff that was found there. And
Hold on.
also,
I'm real stupid. Isn't that
Yeah.
the other fucking side of the country?
yeah. The
Oh,
fact
okay.
that Mormons settled in Utah has nothing to do with the Book of Mormon.
Okay,
That's
that's
just where they went to have their little
Yeah,
enclave.
it was the promised land for the modern day.
makes sense. Kind of like
Has nothing-
New York for the Jews.
Exactly. See, if the Jews,
They have
had
another country to go to now.
Well,
Right?
they didn't then. They didn't then.
Yeah.
You're right. New York.
What? They made a great life there. They run the joint. That and the Italians. Well,
True.
I made that point the other day, and I was like, they didn't need Israel. They already had New York.
yeah. I mean, it's a great point.
We should have just let them have Manhattan.
I
I feel like they'd
I
be
mean,
having
they
a lot
do
less
with
trouble
the-
right
Yeah.
now.
The magic wire around it,
Well, I mean,
So-
what if the magic wire kept us out? Is what I'm saying.
okay, I do want to. I do want to say that that magic wire does financially keep most of us, all of us, out of that area.
Oh,
Yes.
gosh.
But yeah. No.
Sure.
It's
But
a
okay,
visual reminder.
Yeah.
yeah. Bryden, you had a question.
Yes. Have you seen the movie that just came out last year, and it was my favorite movie of last year? Have you seen Heretic?
No, I have seen several previews for it.
It's super good, whether you're Mormon or not. I would say go see it. It's the best horror movie of last year, for fucking sure. But yeah, so you've seen the previews. Doesn't matter. Another question. What do you think of Mitt Romney?
That's very funny. That's right around the time that I went from like, oh yeah, I'm just I'm a Mormon, and also someone who is, just conservative, to, hey, who's this fucking Ron Paul guy?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
during that time I was like, man, fuck Mitt Romney. But now in retrospect, I'm like, man, he would have been the most normal president we have ever had. Like the most normal human. It doesn't matter, policy wise, whatever, but like just human being wise, like, because everyone else tries to appear normal, and then you find out that they're like insane. And then this is a guy that might be physically slightly off-putting, but is, what do you call it,
Real.
fucking yeah, real. Yeah. He's just, even if he does, conquer other countries and, take them, or sorry, companies. He's not a dictator. We're not talking about that other guy. We're talking about Mitt Romney. Even if he conquers other companies, with what did with Bain Capital, and buy them out and whatever. He's focused on, he was focused on his family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that he was a great businessman who should have never gotten into politics ever. But I just think it's funny that the error on your thing says error 2012. The year that you found Ron Paul. Because see, 2008
beautiful.
was my Ron Paul revolution with the love and the whole thing. And I was like, yeah,
Hell yeah.
this is going to be great. And then, it's what you get. But, there he
Yep.
is. You didn't have to
Okay.
do
Here
that,
we go.
brother. But I just thought it was
I have
funny.
a question.
What's
Real
that?
quick.
He doesn't look Mormon.
Why?
He looks
You're right. He
normal.
does not look Mormon.
He looks
He just looks like
normal.
a dude.
I look old school Mormon. I look how my ancestors looked.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
there we go. He's the throwback. It's
Oh,
the
no.
Neanderthal DNA.
Yeah.
But okay, so why do you think it is we haven't had a Mormon president, considering Mormons do control everything behind the scenes? Do they just want to do like the soft power thing, or what do you think is going on there? Why wasn't Mitt Romney president?
Don't fuck this up.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry. It was too much.
No, realistically speaking, the CIA and the three-letter agencies do really recruit heavily from BYU because Mormons have many things that they love, which is the centralized authority, to which they have a central moral code that they have to not only remain kind of self responsible for, but also they have a person they report to immediately above, which it's the bishop, and then the stake president, and then the 70s, then the apostle, and then the prophet. It's like a direct hierarchy of which I guess exists a lot of places, but it's purely voluntary. So these kids that go on their missions for 2 years, they're doing it because they believe, or because they want to do something for the church, because they're investing themselves in it for something that they, for a cause in which they have, they truly believe, or for whatever reason. Anyways, but
There's
then
probably
they
plenty
have
of reason.
yeah. I mean, whether, like, for me, I was planning on going on a mission, and then they told me I couldn't because I got head. I was too cool for a mission.
Damn, dude.
So
Man. Like,
Nuts.
just because you had it in the past? have to
well,
be-
within the past year.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Dude,
Yeah, because
dude.
in
Hey, what-
Statute of limitations here.
What's up?
exactly.
Okay.
Internet fist bump for guys that have gotten head in the last year. Am I right? Yeah.
Hell yeah. So I'm talking about us pussy hounds over here.
Yeah. We call it, real badasses. Real wet dicks, as they're called.
Real
That's disgusting.
slick,
What is wrong
slick
with
dick
you?
boys.
The slick dick boys. Yes.
Why? Every time we get like a man on the show, it's just penises and balls. It just is.
That's all
I'm
we
sorry.
got.
It's all I know. It's what it's the
There's
it's the main
two
focus of a man's life.
Yeah, there's two parts to dick. There's dick and balls. There's like inner and outer labias and majoras and menoras and all kinds of. It's like a spell.
Sure.
Damn, they got a menorah down there. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, I don't have balls menorah.
Yeah.
If I did, they'd be
Yeah.
like, get it fixed. It's a disorder. You got.
I just
Yeah.
want to stop hearing about how, she's probably just going to talk about her vagina. No, that's not what happens here. It's all penis. All of it.
Well, life's unfair, bitch.
It's a podcast for gays.
I can't fight that.
Gay and my dick is small.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, I'm getting my dick is small, dude. Absolutely. What's up? We get another fist bump on that one.
So to be fair
yeah, bro.
to the point you were making, though.
Yeah, sorry. Oh yeah, I was talking about
guys
Mormonism.
also don't.
All right.
You guys don't like drink and stuff, so I'd imagine that's pretty useful
I
for
don't
the
think he's
three-letter
Mormon
agency.
now.
It's like,
Yeah, I stopped going around the time that so I couldn't go on a mission, and then I fuck, what else happened? Oh yeah,
You got head.
before I went to college, my grandpa had died. Small little thing. Got super depressed. No big deal. Already wasn't doing too well. And then they told me, hey, you can't do the thing that you've been aiming your whole life to do, to fulfill the duty of, that
Yeah.
everyone else in your family had done, except for your grandpa, because he went to the army, and that's a solid second choice, serving your country. So after I was super depressed, and then I ended up smoking weed too, and then smoking weed combined with the breaking the law of chastity, which is that part.
Head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
The
breaking the law of
old, the
chastity.
old,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Then they were like, hey, we're kicking you out. And I was like, no, please don't kick me out. Just suspend me
I
for
promise
whatever
I'll
fucking
never come
reason.
again.
Yeah, I promise I'll never come again. I'll never get high again. I'll never feel good again. I promise. And then,
Oh,
and
man.
then I was like, wait, why the fuck am I doing this? Because I did stay sober for the entire time I had to. And then as soon as I took my second hair test, I started smoking weed again. And then they're like, yeah, you didn't pass that other one. I was like, God damn, I did it for no reason. Whatever, fuck you guys, I'm out of here. So I just
That's
stopped
fair.
going. But
Did you ever wear the white shirt
Where was
with
I
the
going?
whole thing?
No, those just for the missionaries. Although, I mean, to go to church on Sunday, that's pretty much what you wear. Just white
Well,
shirt,
that's just church, yeah. Now,
Yeah, exactly.
other
Well,
thing.
what I meant by that, okay, is not necessarily you in particular, but Mormonism. They're not supposed to like drink or even have caffeine and stuff, right? So that makes them reliable
Kind
and
of.
trustworthy on another level, is the point I was making.
Yes. The word of wisdom, to abstain from all other drugs. I mean, honestly, caffeine is one with an asterisk by it, because it's in the word of wisdom to avoid drinking hot drinks, which they've interpreted to mean coffee. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Your expression, yeah, is that when you read the text, it says hot drinks, and they're like, and then, that's when, as you're reading it when you're a kid, then, the teacher looks up and say, they mean coffee by that. And then, you just move on. You're like, okay, all right, cool. And,
Right.
Iced tea's
and
fine, but or is it because it
I
it was
think
hot before, or how's that fucking
the
work?
I think the explanation I was given was back
Also,
in the
iced
day.
coffee
If you,
exists.
yeah, no, exactly. I think
this-
the explanation I gave back in the was that back in the day they it was just drinking hot stuff. Like, that could be bad for you if it's too hot, because I don't know. It was one of
Huh.
those folk wisdom type things. But I think specifically for coffee, what I was taught growing up was, and now they found out, this wisdom was given to Joseph Smith back in the day. And, now they found out that coffee has these things called tannins in them, which are bad for your gut. And not even inherently, but like if you have gut
Yeah.
problems, then they are, which is very ironic actually, because I have gut problems. So I can't drink a ton of coffee. I drink it with a ton of milk and it's fine, but
Mhm.
I can't drink alcohol anymore.
Sure.
Oh, no.
because I got this stupid Crohn's. Anyways, I'm not gonna
Oh,
spend a
yeah,
lot
the
of,
Crohn's.
but yeah. So yeah, autoimmune disease, whatever. I can't, alcohol, really bad for it. Also, specifically
Hold on,
smoking
real quick.
cigarettes is
Hold
really
on.
bad.
Let me sidebar with
Oh,
Abby real
no.
quick. Abby, Crohn's is where you got poop all the time. Basically, everything makes you shit.
Oh, okay. So like an Orthodox Christian.
No. Not everything makes you a shitty person on the internet.
No,
Everything makes you
They
shit.
all have the joke. The Orthodox will get it. They all have IBS from the back, like the yo-yo fasting and not fasting. Like most Orthodox seem to get IBS.
Oh, really?
I just hear about it constantly.
Well, that is a generous comparison, because I was going to say I thought the comparison was going to be what, like the Hebrew, those of the Hebrew faith
No.
that also are shitting their pants all the times, because Crohn's
Dairy.
disease has the highest incidence in Northern European populations and in Ashkenazi Jews.
They do.
Oh, wow.
They
Yeah.
do love to have a sick tummy, dude. They really
Yeah,
do.
yeah. So it's
They're
literally
just
all like
sensitive.
the northern, yeah, and that's scientific literature I'm quoting.
Oh
So,
yeah, no, it's completely right. It's like how Abby has sickle cell because
I do not. I'm not black. Will you stop telling people I'm black?
I did convince someone that I was I don't know, half or a quarter black or something like that, because my my aunt is adopted from Ecuador, and then she married a Filipino guy, and so their kids tan really dark. And
Oh,
so one
yeah.
time I was at the pool with my cousins, and they were like, one of my friends was like, who are those kids? I was like,
Yeah.
oh, those are my cousins. And they were like, kind of jokingly, like, I didn't know you were black. And then I was like, yeah. And then they were like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know, a quarter or something like that. I was like, yeah, my dad's whatever, and then his sister married a black guy. So of course their kids actually look black. And then they believed it for the entire day. And then I went to school, and then, they were like, hey, Rob, do you know Robert's black? And I was like, what are you talking about?
Why did you?
Oh, no.
Why
This
did
rug
you?
pull.
Why did you give that up, dude? You had the pass the
You could have
whole
just.
time. Could have dropped them every day.
I got nervous, if I'm being honest. I was like, how am I gonna ride this out
Yeah.
for the rest of school?
I would
You
have.
should have
Should
just
I
done
should have
it.
kept it going, but
I had oh my goodness, when I was in high school, it was cool and trendy to be LGBT already, right? And
oh yeah.
I decided I was bisexual. I told everyone that I had a girlfriend, and she died over the summer.
Shit,
And I just had a dead girlfriend.
That's also.
I have a girlfriend. She died at a different school.
Literally, it was freshman year. I was just like, I had moved schools the year before, and I was just like, yep, I'm the dead girlfriend girl. That's what we're doing.
So you can instantly be goth too, which is very cool.
Yep, and that's what I did. I was goth. So my mom was like an 80s goth, and I just started borrowing her clothes and telling people I had a dead girlfriend from another school. Like, literally.
I mean, I bet she was stoked she didn't have to buy any more clothes.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just picturing Abby like driving in one of those 1950s cars,
Yeah.
going to Makeout Point, to remember she goes around Dead Man's Curve.
Yeah.
as she just, my girlfriend, and that's the way that she thought people were going to take that story. But instead, people
Yep.
were like, cool, the gross poor girls are gay.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's literally what. Okay, they didn't know I was the gross poor girl because remember, new school district. I moved to a different town. So the gross poor girl, I had moved in with my dad at that point. No one knew about the cat pee or the crack mom. It was great.
She was back, cat pee girl. It's a long story. I'll tell you another time. But
I just listened to another pod. I forgot who it was, but they were saying exactly. They're like, yeah, did you have a cat piss girl? Yeah.
Oh God, it's a thing. Yeah, I was cat pee girl. It's not my fault. I was a child.
Some people can't afford to wash their clothes, Abby. I get it. I know you cat pee girl.
That is a reference to. I've told the story on the show before. My friend tried to defend me from things like that. Like, not everyone's as privileged as you. Some people can't get their clothes washed, and it's like, what? What does that mean?
It means that you were poor and your mother's a crackhead, and everybody knew it.
Yeah.
And now you've reached the point of doing this podcast right now. So good luck.
Yeah. I was talking to my friend the other day, and I said something, and it was something about like, things went wrong, when did everything go wrong? Like that kind of thing, just back and forth. And she was like, yeah, now you're a podcaster. LOL. It's like, okay, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, whore.
for years now. Like to a disgusting point. But so I got more questions about the Mormons. Glenn Beck, what do you think about him?
Glenn Beck. Oh, he's a fun one because I remember when I was getting into politics stuff, I'm like, wow, he's talking about the Constitution and stuff. And he's Mormon, all right, let's read into this, and then over time I'm like, man, he's not really with it. And then he just started, simping for Israel.
Oh,
and
no.
I was like,
a guy on the radio?
All right. And then,
a guy that sells cruises?
Yeah, right. No, and he's one that I like kind of, kept tabs on.
No,
over
I still
time.
like him.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. All right. Yeah. I haven't really listened to him a ton.
The
I
great.
remembered back in the day, I like I said, when he was talking about the constitutional stuff, I was like, okay. Yeah, as I was figuring stuff out, getting
Yeah.
into Ron Paul.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, he seems to be talking sense. And then I kind of got more into like the harder theory stuff. And I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, well, he's not fucking talking about the Austrian business cycle, so he can go fuck off.
I
Oh,
like
no.
I really like all the Mises based guys,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was that fucking retard about a decade ago, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just I mean, and still kind of am, but like
Same, dude. Same.
just
Dude.
yeah,
Hayek.
It's an incurable disease. I
yeah,
I
it is.
slip into libertarianism sometimes too. I'm currently really angry at the Airbnb host I'm gonna have to meet tomorrow because they
Oh
keep
no.
apparently there's gonna be a freaking sound machine in there that measures decibels to make sure we don't throw a party. And I wasn't planning to. I was just gonna sleep there and party
You
elsewhere the whole
should
weekend.
now, though.
But like, yeah,
Yeah.
now I'm just like, fuck you, I'm gonna go right up next to it and yell. But no, she'll like kick me out if it
Just
takes
fart
that
real
we're
loud
too
right on
loud.
top of it.
Yeah.
Just
I'm really mad about that right now, and I don't even I'm not throwing a party.
yeah, no, I mean that is very ridiculous. My parents they came over and stayed at an Airbnb actually in our neighborhood for our wedding, and they they wanted like a list of every single person that was going to show up, and
Mhm.
even enter the house, like not even stay there, but just enter the house. And my mom's like, I'm just not gonna do that. Like, she's like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put who's staying there for the night, and then and she can deal with it because that I mean it's so tedious. And she's because that was the other thing. The price adjusts uh depending on uh I think the other issue is that my brother was only going to stay there one night
Mhm.
and then stay somewhere else with his fiance and do God knows what, all sorts of unchaste activities, I would imagine.
Yes, of course.
And but yeah, anyways, so as you were talking before,
Yeah.
the Mormons owning everything. Yeah, I think the Mormons also own Airbnb because yeah, definitely the Mormons because I mean, goodness, how do you like
It's
how do you let that be in your policy to be like,
right.
yeah, we could just extract as much money as possible. You can put a sound picker upper
Yes.
inside of to,
This
Careful.
It's insane, and then also it said in the rules that you can't, like, smoke, which is fine if you eat inside, but no, apparently it means you can't smoke on the porch, and again, I don't smoke cigarettes, I vape, it's fine, I'll vape in the bathroom, nobody will know, but, like and they probably
Exactly.
don't care if I vape on the porch, but, like,
I,
uh
I guarantee you, if you vape on the porch, they're gonna fucking
they're gonna fi
fine you.
and it's like, "Oh, yeah, $250 fine if we catch you smoking on the porch on the cameras," and it's
One
like,
time,
What?
dude.
"Ugh."
One time. I forget where. I forget. I was with Roscoe. Uh, but I forget where. There was some place in Kentucky or somewhere, some Midwestern area. Where they gave us a pretty nice deal on an Airbnb. I didn't pay a dime. I forget who paid for it, but there was a bunch of guys there or whatever, and they were like, "Hey, but don't go into this one room." And we got in there, and it was like a bunch of pictures of dudes. Like, obviously, it was a gay couple's house, and they were like, "Don't go into this one room." Clearly, we did. So we started digging through stuff, and then we found a meth pipe, and it's like, "Oh, that's why I didn't want us to go in here."
Yeah,
That's
Yep.
where they keep all of
that's
their, you know.
That's just the gay sex room.
I mean, which more power to them. We podcasted
Yeah.
in there, but I mean, this
Still the
was
gay sex room.
fucking maybe
yeah.
I don't know, maybe like 8 years ago, something like that. But yeah, it was so it was one of those types of podcasts. But uh,
We stayed in an Airbnb like that with a locked room with my kids, but it was like and a bunch of family, right? Big one. It was like an old historic house. So it was 100 years old. It had keyholes, like those big keyholes.
Oh, those are awesome.
Like from movies and stuff that you
Yeah.
can look through
Nice.
on the door. So we couldn't get the door open. But my
Oh, holy
kids
shit.
were like mapping out the room by peering through the keyhole. They were so fascinated that we weren't allowed in this mysterious room and like what's in there. And they were like taking turns trying to see as much as they could. And like, okay, no, wait, it was a little to the side. Okay. No, and it was shaped like this. I think it was a wardrobe, but I could only see the side, and stuff like that. It was so fun. It was
That's great.
And there was just dildos and meth pipes in there, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
probably.
yeah.
There's
Yeah,
some
yeah,
weird
it-
shapes on that map,
I
man.
I
There's
just
a
don't.
harness.
Yeah, dude. You're like, I don't know. It looks like there's some type of a tire swing in there. I'd be like, and we're done. That's
Yeah,
not.
and
the
they're
tire.
Christian. There's a giant cross on the side in there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But no, I mean, how are you gonna keep your I mean, it's not even a weed pipe. It's a meth pickle, dude. You're gonna keep that.
That shit. Yeah.
And not a lock on the door. Just hey, don't go in there, please.
Oh, that wasn't even locked?
Fuck no. If it was locked, we wouldn't have gone in.
Well, yeah, because they did meth before they left.
Yeah,
they were out of there in a rush.
It was a great.
And they were like, "Oh shit, don't go in there."
Yeah, it was a great place too. So it's like these meth addict, poppers addicted homosexuals have this,
Yep.
I guess, 2 incomes. Like great fucking place. It was fun.
They probably just come all over the place in between.
Yeah, I thought of that. I thought of that when I was telling the story. Is we probably sat in just a bunch of dry loads.
Yeah.
They're like, I thought it was dusty in there.
Yeah, it didn't.
Not dust.
Yeah, it seemed clean, but I don't know. We sitting there with a laptop, me and Roscoe, and did a podcast with some guys or whatever, because that's what you used to do back then. And yeah, I'll never forget that. That was pretty rough.
I bet you had a great time.
Oh, I
looking
had a
at
great,
those
I had a,
pictures.
I had a blast. It was hilarious. We got there and we're like, oh, it's a couple fellas that run this joint.
See, and that's with Mitt Romney, you never have to worry about finding a meth pipe gay sex room in his house
It's true.
Well,
because he has missionary sex with his wife for the sole purpose of procreation,
I
like the Mormons intended.
okay, I got 2 things to say about that. One, we all know that CPAC has the highest concentration of gay pornography sites visited, and a lot. There's a lot of Lindsey Grahams out there. Okay, so but I would trust Mitt Romney to not have gay sex. Tell me about that fucking underwear. Is Glenn Beck wearing that underwear?
Yeah,
Are you wearing that underwear?
No, I was never. So you get that once you go through the temple endowment process, which is
wait. Mormonism makes your dick bigger?
I fucking wish. I wish that's what endowment meant. Unless that is, and I've just been missing out because I've never done it.
What if their
So
dicks
you
are
don't
so
learn
big?
you don't learn the
Oh my
secrets
God,
until
dude,
you
you
get
just
to
made
that
me
level.
think.
Yeah. You
Damn.
don't learn the secrets. Your dick gets so big that they have to wear special underwear to just contain it.
All you
Damn,
had to
dude.
do was be a good boy for just a little bit longer.
Just
Look
leave my
what you
penis
did to
alone.
yourself.
Hell, it could have gotten a little bit bigger.
Also,
I could have gotten my adult penis.
Also, if anybody else would have said good boy, that would have made anybody's penis bigger, but not her.
Right? Yeah.
Not me.
No, but we the garments they used to be like full long sleeve pants back in the day. Like they
Mhm.
were full undergarment, like full length long john type deals. And the women's were like full dresses.
Oh, the
And
ladies
then
wear them too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like an
Women wear 'em too.
underdress. Yeah, so
Yeah,
back in the
and-
day when we used to wear dresses like 150 years ago, the nightgown we slept in just went under our clothes. That was underwear. It was just like a white, simple linen dress
wait,
that went
what-
under your other dress.
Sure, I get that, but like it
Yeah.
wasn't magical. That wasn't for.
No,
For
no, no. I'm
Mormons, it
just saying
was.
it would probably look like that. That's all
Okay,
I'm saying.
yeah,
It just
yeah.
probably just the same
Physically
thing, but
very-
magic.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly. And then now they're basically just I'm sure you've seen the fucking pictures, but
Why do you
They
think that
wear 'em-
I've seen the fucking pictures?
you know what? Now
I
that
have not actually.
I
know what?
literally
Hold on,
have
let me-
never looked up Mormon magic underwear ever, and I'm.
You know what?
It's crazy
I
that
don't
I
know.
haven't.
Shocking. Yeah.
It's
don't know why I
crazy that I haven't.
I don't know why that is a crazy thing for me to. Of course, you know what Mormon's underwear look like, right?
I
No, I don't.
You all saw your dad walking around in it, and it's semi see through with his penis.
You know what's crazy? It wasn't that wrong of a guess, but yeah, I have it actually. So send me the picture. Let's put it in the chat. And for
He's
the
looking
people
it
at
up.
home, you're gonna have to look it up yourself. Just tell them what you Googled, and
Mormon. Now, if my keyboard responds to me,
if we could see a minimal amount of head
Of-
on the penis and hair, that'd be great. But if that's
Oh,
the
yeah,
way
yeah.
it looks,
the ones on that Mormons share around definitely do not have visible penis.
oh, I can't imagine
Um,
they've ever seen a penis. This is why Mormonism would be pretty sweet, because I'd be like, yeah, that's what a penis looks like. You know, they don't know. They don't take classes on that at high school. You could just be like, yeah, they're always that small. It's fucking Mormonism was probably created because Joseph Smith had a small wiener, and he was like, I don't know, some plates I found in the fucking ground. Like that's
It's also the reason that Broseph Smith chose the play on his name. Had nothing to do with the religion.
Yes,
yeah.
I need to trick women, and I finally trapped one.
That's oh yeah. By the way, yeah, we even gotten to your. We got 10 minutes left on the show, and then we got the Patreon if you're going to stick around. But we haven't
sure.
even gotten to the the whole welcome to hell aspect of your life now.
Congratulations on the marriage.
He got
Thank you.
married. He got married. So if you had any money,
In hell for good.
it's gone.
The good thing about my wife is that, and I get to say that now, is that she worked. Her dad was
There you go.
a
Never mind.
contractor,
Yeah, no.
so hardworking.
All right. So he's one of these what we call a reverse gold digger. And yeah, no, good luck. You should start
It's
a
still
podcast.
No, he's
digging.
no money. No money. They're poor as shit. He's poor as shit. I like no. Yeah.
Don't
but
let him hear
hardworking.
this. He works hard.
He works hard. I hope to God he's awesome. He's awesome. I mean, genuinely, but
You're gonna have a lot different problems if he ever hears this. Don't worry.
yeah,
It's not gonna be
he's
this
never
part.
gonna be listening to this. But he doesn't. I think he probably actually watches Glenn Beck more than I do. And more real news than I do. I get all my news from stuff like this.
Nice. That's
And
you
Twitter.
should get your news from us, because we did a whole
Yes.
thing pretty recently and realized I don't know, it's fun to talk about politics, but
Yeah,
turns out we were right.
almost
Turns
never
out
do.
it was 2 weeks ago. Turns out, suck it, Mr. Cask. We were right to freak out. We were right. We were like,
We were right.
we were right. Now, listen, don't ever forget who is behind this comedy facade. It is the #1 genius from the hit show Right to Bryden, Bryden Proctor, motherfucker. Don't ever forget, like I ever lost that. Oh.
He used to do a politics show.
I did
For anyone that doesn't
years.
understand that.
For years.
So, in between the free episode, in between recording the free episode and the bonus episode that week, I read on Twitter, just on our potty break, that Israel had bombed Iran, and I just brought it to him on the show live. It was a lot of fun.
I
fun.
freaked
He was
out.
very mad.
I became very angry, and I am
Freak out.
still angry.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. And by the way, guess what happened? It's great. So
He's
we're
captivated.
Where are these
Did you
underwear?
see the Mormon underwear? Yeah, let's look at the Mormon underwear.
You-
I had to
I am
look it
sad
up.
to report that my keyboard is
Okay,
being retarded.
well, I'm
and
sad
I
to
think I
report
need to
that-
change
We're
the
gonna look it
batteries.
up.
I am sad to report that I am now in charge of looking up Mormon underwear. I'm going to do it on Bing with safe search off. So we'll just
Yeah,
see what
you have
happens.
to be
working.
very
Good fucking
careful.
God.
I tried to look up some Harry Potter character on Bing with a not safe search on, one time, and it just brought up porn and fan fiction.
Oh no, that's literally what being a
It
safe
was
search is for.
crazy.
So this, I would count this as lewd, but I was thinking of more of like pantyhose. But yeah, it's more.
Yep.
It's got a cod piece, which is weird, and it's got a camel toe piece. I just noticed. That's odd, but I
Yep.
don't
There's like
know. That
some
just looks modest.
symbols or something over the nipples.
Are there? Hold
Yeah.
on.
I don't.
Mormon
There's these
underwear nipple symbols.
enhance.
Nipple symbols.
You
Okay.
can't find that.
Oh no,
You're
I've got a
not gonna
whole.
find that.
Yeah, I guarantee you I can. And congratulations, I have a sketch that looks like it's from one of the movies I would like, showing from 1842 to 1979 to present the symbols and the evolution of Mormon underwear.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
It's called
Exactly.
temple garment.
Just make
Yes.
that the thumbnail for the episode this week.
It would literally take so much work for me to do that, but I will do it.
so that everyone can see what we're talking about.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. See, look, visual aid.
Oh, but then you got
Look
you
at
know,
these nipples.
Then you got this. Thank you, Bing search. This is who's she? Mormon
Oh,
girls
perfect.
with a Z. That's
Yeah,
Oh, of course, that's a
I
thing.
don't think
I got a
she
new
is one of
thing,
the sister
dude.
missionaries.
I got a new
God.
thing. And then it just evolves into a bunch of satanic symbols and Illuminati shit.
Yeah, that's probably here's now here's where that ties in. Because the temple endowment ceremony was let me first say it the way that Joseph Smith presented it. Now he presented it as,
No, really,
oh, hey,
believe me.
I got inducted into this Masonic order, and it turns out I got a revelation that these Masonic rites that we're receiving here, yeah, these are part of the old temple rituals in Solomon's temple that were just kind of corrupted over time. Now we're gonna bring them back for real though, and we're doing them inside of the temple.
Yeah, that's
So
about what
basically,
I thought that was.
yeah, yep, exactly. The temple endowment ceremony stuff, from what I understand, I've never been through it. Let me give that disclaimer, blah blah blah. I've never done it myself.
Hold on. I want to hear this, but just real quick, as
Yes.
I am listening to you and searching through all these things. Apparently, you can have them in different colors.
Oh, really?
Apparently, because here's a bunch of Mormon shopping, and they got multiple colors, like there's some type of an Islamist. I don't know how legit. Maybe that's
What
like
the
Reformed
hell?
Mormonism when they only
No,
take
I
3
think they
wives.
must have. I think they may have changed that, because it used to. I swear to Mormon Jesus that it used to be just whites. It was
Well,
like they got to be white, and
it seems
and if
mostly
they
white.
got like off color, then then you get rid of them, and you have to dispose of them properly by doing
Mhm.
special stuff.
Sorry, keep going. But I don't know.
Something.
They also could have just found any random picture, because this comes from Business Insider, and what is
That
that?
is, yeah.
So like from what I can tell is like the Mormons are like they're kind of like Amish on ketamine, I guess. Like they kind of forgot who they were, and they just keep some type of such a bad analogy, but they keep some type of an association of themselves. It's a fraud religion. It was made by a con artist. I really don't understand, and I'm sorry if I upset you by saying that. But it's
No, it's
I'm
more,
not religious.
yeah.
I'm a fucking
Yeah.
nihilist. So like, don't.
Oh no, I understand. I mean, I found libertarianism and then found critical thinking. And
I found this is the nipple thing. This is the nipple thing. This is the male version of it, and they just
Okay.
stitch it weird on the nipples. Is that right?
Oh, I
Yes.
see.
Broseph, is
Yes.
that right? Okay, that's
there's like one that
fucking
goes like this and one that goes like that for Las Vegas. I'm just kidding. I don't.
Fantastic.
Sorry,
Okay, so
keep
about
going.
the who gets a planet when they die?
That one's kind of like a misunderstanding type deal. It's more
Okay.
like the Mormon concept of like the afterlife is eternal progression. It's not like I don't know. I feel like other religions, it's like you die, bam, you go to heaven, hell, whatever, purgatory, and then maybe some shit happens, and then bam, that's how things are, or you get reincarnated or something like that. With Mormons, it's once you die, then you get sorted to one of the 3 tiers of heaven, either the telestial, which is the lowest, the terrestrial, or the celestial. Or if you're a real awful, literally satanic piece of shit, then you go sent to outer darkness. But that's like very, very, very,
Where would
very
we-
few people get sent
Where
there.
would we, okay, 2 things. One, reincarnated, be funny. I want to come back as, like a muscle car. And then 2, where would we go according to Mormonism?
Probably telestial, which is just the or maybe telestial or terrestrial, maybe terrestrial, because so probably terrestrial actually, because you're like the okay, so telestial is like the lowest. You have to be like murderers, thieves, rapists, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Terrestrial is you're pretty much a decent person. You're not perfect, no one is, but you live your life trying to at least do decent things,
Oh, shit.
and then
Nah, put me down with the other one.
well, and there's a big divide because you got to be grouped in with the murderers, which very low bar for that one. And so terrestrial is very much wider, much wider.
Okay.
So like of a spectrum. Celestial, top tier, you got to be member of the church, baptized, endowments, married and sealed in the temple.
I like how they do like YouTube reaction S tier, A tier, B tier.
Yeah.
That's the whole religion. It's like saints,
Yes.
Joseph Smith, S tier for sure. All right,
Yep.
Satan, terrestrial tier, all the way down here.
Yeah, all the way outer darkness to him, outer darkness with him, and the third of the hosts of heaven that betrayed Jesus at the beginning. But but so far as the celestial kingdom, so when you get there, all hunky dory, right? You just get to live life forever and not do anything else, right? Wrong. Mormonism, eternal progression. You're always working. So
You gotta work at Amazon for fucking Fulfillment Center at the celestial tier.
But no, because that's when you kind of I guess still work in the church in heaven to that degree. We don't really know what that means, but I guess if you're good enough, you can pretty much be an angel or whatever, that type of deal.
Or you can fly those boxes onto the conveyor belt.
Exactly.
Fucking Jeff
You got
Bezos.
wings now.
Jeff Bezos
You got wings
is
now.
still making money from up there. He's like got a fucking contract with God,
Exactly.
with Mormon God.
Exactly.
Sorry,
You're a 1099 employee, but you get a halo.
Jesus fucking Christ.
No, but
Christ.
the idea is that it kind of eternal progression, then something. You keep doing good in the kingdom of the Lord, but then eventually here's the maxim: God is what we are. Or sorry, let me pause for a moment and get this right. We are what God once was. God is what we can become.
Okay. Well, that sounds good on a t-shirt. Yeah.
So like basically in the celestial kingdom, you can become a god eventually. And so having your own planet is more like, yeah, sure, you start with a planet in your own universe, and then you expand out from there. You create worlds upon worlds just like God did.
So sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Oh, I was just going to say, think about it like humans being like, sorry, when we were in the spirit world before, we were in the Charmander form of eternal
now you're
existence.
Talking my language.
And here on Earth, we're in the Charmeleon form because we got bodies. That's an upgrade. But spirits needs bodies in order for eternal progression, Mormons teach. And then once we die and get resurrected through Jesus Christ, then the eternal, then after you go to the celestial kingdom, then you can become a god. Charizard form, you're creating your own worlds and breathing fire over your own planets.
And then from there, can you get Dynamaxed? Can you get even further?
Yes, I believe by No, actually, I think that's it.
That's
Hold on.
it?
You just max out at
You
creating
just
your
max out.
own world.
You just max out at God.
Lame. Yeah,
just-
lame. You get
Yeah,
to become
sorry.
God.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. No, yeah, that's it. Just God.
Once
What
you
about
Nothing
the
reach
else.
level,
terrestrial people?
listen, once you
go ahead.
reach level 50, you stop leveling, okay? Like,
Yeah,
Go.
yeah, exactly.
So the terrestrial level, is there
Yeah.
any progression there? Or are you just there?
that's what he said.
So there's kind of
No,
like
he
an
said at the
asterisk.
celestial level. They keep
There's kind
Oh,
of like
you're
an
right.
asterisk because like in order to get to the celestial kingdom, you have to go through, all the Mormon rites and rituals and stuff. And then, of course, there comes the, well, what about the people that died before Mormonism was invented in 1980 or 1830? 1830. He said 1980.
Well, might as well have been.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, just 150 years before that. But yeah, in 1830. And then it's like, okay, well, Mormons, this is why I know so much about my genealogy, by the way, is because they do genealogy so we can do baptisms for the dead inside of the temple. You get baptized for and in behalf of your ancestors. And so basically, the idea is you do that for them on earth in the temple, and then up in heaven, an angel goes, all right, Mr. Ezekiel Johnson, born, fucking 1422, your ancestor, Robert Erickson, did a baptism for you. Will you be willing to accept the Church of Jesus Christ as into your heart or whatever? And
You're definitely going to hell for coming on this podcast, bro.
but I always just thought it was funny, like if someone was in heaven, I'm like, 'cause growing up Mormon, I'm like, well, why would someone say no to that? Someone must really fucking like just be like, nah, I'm not doing any of that bullshit. I'm done. And now I understand why someone would say
Oh
that.
yeah,
Say, no, I'm not trying to be God, dude. I'm literally not trying to be God. I just want to chill in the terrestrial kingdom where it's kind of better than the place with all the rapists and murderers,
I'm not even trying to fucking be alive all the goddamn time. Like it's I think about this a lot, especially when you're stressed out. Is
Yeah, me too.
it's you got either there is a god or there's not a god. It's equally as fucking terrifying. Cause either I'd blink out of existence and I don't know what that's like. It sounds like it might be nice, but what about my podcast and stuff? I gotta upload the episode. Or what the hell does this guy want with me? He's probably already knows, and but I'm not trying to run a whole planet. I hate sim games. I hate them, dude. Spore was pretty good. I gotta run a whole thing. What
It's
if the
gonna be
Mormons are
like-
right? And that's why our world's so bad. Some other fucking dickhead Mormon made the world, and he's like me. He's like, I don't know. And then he finally was like,
gave up.
Let's find out what this fucking alcohol is about. And now this is what's happening all the time. He's just some drunk god.
Yeah.
The worst would be if it's like Sim City, where I hate that game because I like placing buildings and roads, and it's like, oh, you can make a district here. Like if I can't, they're not going to let me design the city. That's not okay.
You should play City Skylines. It's better, but it's also
That might be what I'm thinking of. City Skyline, whatever you have to make the freaking districts, and I like the
That's
games
Sim
where I
City.
can literally build the town.
You should play
like
Mormon
building
God.
by
I hear
building.
you get your own planet.
Yeah, I should just be Mormon, I guess.
Nice.
Apparently now I'm not getting any planets, unfortunately.
Well, we are because we're kind of in a hurry, and I'm sorry, Broseph, but
Yeah.
so we
No
got
worries.
the Patreon we got to do. You're sticking around with us, right?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
That'll be on patreon.com/here to help podcast. That'll be out Monday, everyone. It is $1 for the entire backlog of episodes. and
Hundreds,
there's
literally
a lot.
over 100. Literally, how many
It's
are
like
we up to now? Let me
120 something.
I'm looking
I
it up
don't know.
now. I'm looking it up now. So close. 123. So this will be 124.
Fantastic. That's what you can get for $1. Anyway, Broseph, I would like you to
Yes.
plug literally whatever you want to plug right now.
Well, go ahead, check out Do Rag and the Deer Tag. That's not my podcast. That's just one I listen to.
It's also
Um,
fine.
I said anything. Leave him alone. Don't make fun of him. He's doing his plugs.
Listen to the Crowder Boys on that's also not me. And subscribe to Here to Help's Patreon for $1. There we go. Those are my plugs.
Yeah, I'm still mad about that possum burning thing they did on LOS with the Do-Rag Boys. So, yeah, it's kind of like those guys are insane people. I don't care for that. Yeah. What are you
They
doing?
burned
they're
a
trying to
possum?
out edgy
No,
them, I think.
they showed a video. We'll talk about it later. They showed a video a few weeks ago on LOS, and it was not cool. So
No, yeah, I think because they were going in with a vibe of like we're the edgy cool guys now, and then they just overshot
they
it.
fucking blew
They just
it.
way overshot.
Yeah, it sucked. They blew it. It's awful.
Hilarious.
Which to me is also funny, just because I do know them too, and and so.
No, well, tell them I said it was unappealing as shit.
Yeah, that's why I was laughing. I was like, just because everyone else's reaction, they're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, no one liked that. No one in the chat liked that at all.
That was one of the times I'm like, I know I'm the only one laughing.
Nah, I didn't care for that. I was like, fuck, I see those guys on Zach Amico's got his new
They are
show.
cool.
Whatever. Yeah. Whatever, dude.
But
that was not cool. It made me go, I'm not doing the show. I'm not gonna listen to it, dude.
Drew did grow up in backwoods New York, so
I don't care. I'm not doing this thing where I start a new podcast with a bunch of fucking guys think possum burning. It's hilarious because I've listened to them like one time, so I'm not doing it. I don't know. They could come back if they could give me a good Zach and Miko's Morning Zoo or LOS appearance, but I don't think you should get those two guys together. Also, haven't they both been on Story Wars by now?
Yes.
Okay, we're just doing.
Wait, yeah.
We're just doing.
We're gonna close out
podcast fan stuff now.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have a new song out soon. I gotta pick which one. Yeah. I think that's it. But I think I'll this weekend I'm gonna put one out anyway because I said I was gonna put one out. So that'll be good.
Very exciting. And with that, we're out of time
exciting.
for today.
No, we're not out of time today. We're gonna play one of my songs. No, it's fine. Let's.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, and have a great week, secure in the knowledge that we are with you, and we are the only ones.
Oh, real quick.
What?
Don't listen to Deer Tag. Do Rag and the Deer Tag.
God damn it.
Okay.
You can't trust them. The only ones you can trust are us because
you
we
can
are
listen to these
here.
fucking psychopaths that laugh at animal abuse. Sorry, finish out the show.
I really don't know if we have done that on the show, so I can't.
No, we never would. They're not.
Hey,
cool.
I worked at a psych hospital for like 4 years or 6 years. Holy shit, 6 years. So I do.
And we will cover that. And we will cover that on the next episode. Okay. Now, anyway, we're the only one that's gonna like help you out and shit like that. All right, peace.